Assalamualaikum, selamat petang dan hi everyone. Selamat Hari Wesak. Thank you for tuning in to our third episode of Rambutan Duduk Rumah series. Nama saya Pak Ezra, apa khabar? So, hari ini hari ke 51, saya rasa kita dalam MCO dan lebih kurang ada lagi macam 5 hari sebelum MCO berakhir. So, saya harap semua orang terus bertahan, terus duduk rumah. Saya fikir ramai juga yang tak sabar mau masuk office, so relax, lagi 5 hari dan kita semua boleh balik bekerja. So, session kali ini ada sedikit berbeza sebab kali ini kita ada segmen baru yang kita namakan Breaking into Tech. So, untuk setiap segmen kita akan interview people in tech lah untuk berkongsi diorang punya cerita, diorang punya pengalaman bekerja dalam ini industri, kan? Jadi untuk kalau kamu orang ada soalan atau ada if you have any questions atau apa-apa yang kamu orang mau tanya kepada kita punya guest, kita punya tetamu pada petang ni, kamu boleh terus tanya di ruangan komen, just tulis nanti saya cuba tolong kamu orang tanyalah kan kepada kita punya guest tu. So just keep watching and then keep asking questions. So, untuk segmen yang pertama ni, kita bawakan dua junior developers daripada Rambutan Digital, Danial and Carmen. If you can have them on the screen. Yes. Hello Carmen, hello Danial. Hi.
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 So, macam hari ni public holiday, anything interesting?
Just duduk-duduk di rumah saja, mematuhi peraturan PKP.
That's good. Carmen?
Yeah, watching dramas.
Movies. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Apa drama?
Drama. Korean drama, which recently quite famous.
Which one?
The Married Life.
Oh,
not sure you guys have heard it before.
Not really.
Oh, I know that.
Oh, okay.
It's getting viral on Facebook. I know for what reason.
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix?
I'm not sure because I'm not watching from Netflix. Yeah. From a website actually.
Okay. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Cool. All right. So, how about if we start with Danial first? Danial, if you can share a little bit about your background.
All right. Okay. So hi, my name is Danial. So I was born and bred in KK. So orang KK. So I studied Bachelor of Science, major in Computer Science from the University of Auckland, New Zealand. So sekarang ni I work as a junior software engineer at Rambutan Digital.
All right. Thanks, Danial. How about you, Carmen?
So, hey guys, my name is Carmen and I'm born in Sabah. I took my degree in Singapore and graduate in 2015. My major is logistic and supply chain, which doesn't have any related computer science background. So after I graduate, I decided to come back to Sabah to start my career. I worked in a wholesale company and managing everything in a warehouse. But then it's kind of boring to me, so I decided to resign and seek for another path. So here I am now, a software engineer.
Oh, okay. That's good. So Carmen is also a software engineer from Rambutan Digital, okay? So
yes.
I actually have a follow-up question for Carmen lah. So why you mentioned macam a bit boring kan your previous career, but then why did you choose this new career, and then how did you actually macam mana kau belajar coding lah in the first place?
The reason why I choose this because I always curious of how a behind the scene a website looks so nice, and also some application that you found on mobile. It's because the feature is quite interesting. Those instant messaging stuff. So I think some of you out there actually had the same thoughts like me. Also interested to know. And I get to learn coding from this Rambutan Code Academy, which I found in my hometown, Kota Kinabalu, here in Sabah, which one day I was driving, I passed by this building and saw this sign. It's quite big. So I straight away Google it and register for their part-time course. So I took the course for 3 months and made my own applications from what I learned. It's also my final project.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So, without having a CS background, kan, so when you were learning how to code, yang the first 3 months too, what do you think was the hardest thing about learning to code?
The hardest part is, which since I don't have any background, so I don't have any theory base, so it's hard for me to understand. So I put a lot of hard work, and with this academy, so I'm able to ask the mentor so directly, so it's quite helpful for me. And I did try to search some articles which has easy explanations and some examples, and I kept practicing it. So by doing this, it actually helps me a lot to understand things more.
Oh, okay. So for Daniel, kan, so Daniel, you have a CS degree, kan, from New Zealand, right? So apa yang daripada tu CS degree tu yang have you found most useful in your work lah? And then apa yang masa di uni tu yang apa yang you learn from work yang tidak kena ajar di uni, something like that. So yeah, you can share something like that.
So first and foremost, I think the most important thing that I learned from uni was to pure HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. By the way, it's very basic. So time di uni tu saya tidak pakai any fancy framework macam Ruby on Rails, Django, Bootstrap, semua tu saya pun tidak tahu apa benda tu. So I only learned the basics of, make a simple page. It doesn't do much handling with the database semua tu. So I think that's the most useful. So other things that I find useful is macam general programming concept, like object-oriented programming, because it applies to a lot of programming languages macam Python, Java, Ruby. So semua tu guna object-oriented. So when I was in uni, I only learned Python. So for 3 years of degree, I mostly used Python in my assignments. And when I came to work, I have to use Ruby, but I found it easy to pick up because the syntax is almost similar with Python, and you can also apply object-oriented programming. So that's what I found useful. And the most important thing that I wasn't taught at uni that I use in work was how to use a version control system, macam Git, so GitHub. So time tu pun, actually saya ada sudah GitHub, tapi macam sekadar ada account. So saya pun tidak tahu macam mana mau add, push, commit, lepas tu push. So bila saya masuk kerja barulah saya actually macam learn from zero, belajar restart lah satu Git.
Okay, interesting. So I think I understand kenapa si Carmen, sebab Carmen ada mention earlier yang why now dia sekarang is a software developer kan, coming from a non-tech background. But Daniel, can you share why did you choose computer science in
Oh,
uni?
so I was actually very interested much in technology lah in general since I was little. So even my parents, they noticed me like I like to macam just play with the computer, just click sana, click sini. I didn't even know what I was doing. So that was since I was in primary school. I was really interested. Dulu more to hardware lah. I was interested how the computer works, how the hard disk work, and everything. So I was very interested to the point that I actually macam skip lunch for a month to buy a book about Linux. So I think the title was Mengenali Linux, something like that. So that I found at a bookstore. So that costed like 35 ringgit. So back then for a kid, 35 is a huge money. So I actually skipped lunch for about a month. But in the end kan, unfortunately saya tidak dapat juga tu buku because it's already sold out. There's only one copy at the store.
Astaga, sedih cerita nih. Jadi sampai sekarang kau tidak laku buku?
Tidak. So saya pun tidak tahu apa yang saya buat dengan duit yang saya kumpul hari itu. Tapi itulah sedih juga lah. But other than that, I usually macam ask my parents to buy me a monthly magazine. Time dulu ada satu di majalah PC kah, macam dorang buat keluaran every month. So every month dorang ada macam new issue. So itu yang saya selalu baca lah. Yeah.
So yang ini masih kau masih di secondary school lah?
Yeah, secondary school.
Secondary school. Saya tidak sangka pula time kamu punya zaman masih lagi ada tu majalah PC. So, zaman saya ada lah kan, tapi segitu time. Kau punya buku tu mungkin kita boleh try cari kan sebagai kenangan. Jadi trofi ya saya punya start turun career whatever. Apa ni? So far, okay. So now you are someone yang with a computer science degree kan, and then working with alongside Carmen yang tiada orang bilang bukan datang daripada traditional computer science background lah kan. So ada perbezaan kan? You've been working with Carmen for almost about a year sudah kan, almost lah.
Yeah.
Kan? Jadi so apa kau punya pendapat working with someone yang sebab I think in your team pun ada juga yang someone from standard computer science background and Carmen without computer science background. So apa kau punya pendapat? Ada beza kah? Tidak beza kah? Macam mana?
There isn't much different because saya rasa si Carmen sudah made her macam on effort while she was learning in Rambutan to do like all the practice of her own practice of what's needed to be learned. And compared when I work with other engineers who have SE background, so yeah, there's not much different because sometimes I learn from Carmen and sometimes Carmen learns from me. So we all learn from each other. So I think Carmen's level for someone who doesn't have a computer science background is actually pretty good.
Okay. And then Carmen, what do you think? So masa mula-mula join the team kan? So apa perasaan, and if you can share a little bit what do you think about working with the team yang you know I don't know. So macam apa perasaan working as a software developer sekarang for almost a year? What do you think? How are you feeling?
Oh, okay. So my thought is there's still a lot of things that I don't know since because they graduate from uni, so it took them like more than 3 years to complete the degree. So during those 3 years, they actually gained a lot of knowledge. But to me, I don't. I just started last year, and there's still a lot of things going on which I don't know. Yeah. So I will learn a lot. I actually learn a lot from them, each of them. And I'm grateful to have working with them because they are kind and helpful, and we always have our we always help each other when we have difficulties or yeah, that's.
Oh, okay. So far, so this is your first job then, both Daniel and Carmen as a software engineer?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you think about what's the experience like getting a job in tech in Sabah with CS and then in general?
So I think at first I thought there's no chance for me to work in KK because if I want to work as a software engineer, most people said, I think you need to go to KL to find a
Yeah.
job. So I tried. Actually, I was waiting to find any opportunities as a software engineer because before I worked as a software engineer, I was tutoring kids. So my plan was actually if I don't get any software engineering job in the nearest future, I would just continue being a teacher. So then I kept on googling, and I saw Rambutan Code Academy looking for intern. So I sent my resume straight away, and I got a reply. And I think the next day was it. I went to the interview, and
Mm.
yeah, so that's how I started. And yeah, working as a software engineer, I don't know a lot of things because the things that I've learned in uni was very, very basic. Like
Yeah.
I don't know Git, and I don't know how a software project is managed because all the things that I'm used to in uni was just a small assignment that doesn't require you to work in team. So when you work in a software team, you have to do things differently. You can't simply do things as you like because you're gonna have to write your code in a way that everyone in the team can understand in the future. Yeah, so that's what I learned, and I've learned a lot in this past 1 year in Rambutan.
What about Carmen? How about your experience so far?
So I mean, before I found this Rambutan Code Academy, I actually did search for like where can I learn this coding programming skills. Mostly I get is from West Malaysia. So in Sabah here, there's no resources for me to learn.
Mm. Mm.
Then so to me it's quite costly if let's say I want to move to West Malaysia to study for a boot camp for 3 months like that. But I'm consider myself quite lucky because I found one code academy here in Sabah, and I don't have to spend a lot for my rental kind of stuff. So I got my mentor, which I mentioned, that taught me during my 3 months of part-time course. She actually offered me a job to join her team, Rambutan Digital. And I didn't expect I didn't expect so soon to be actually had a chance to be part of the team. Yeah.
Oh, it's good for you. It's good for you. Right. So pada yang masih bersama kita secara live, if you have any questions you want to ask Daniel or Carmen, just ask away. Tulis di comment box tu. If you're from Twitter, I think you can also ask questions and then we can display the questions here. From Facebook, just ask questions, right? While waiting for other people yang masih mungkin malu-malu, you wanna ask questions, kan? So, alright. So Daniel has this very traditional computer science background, and then Carmen is a bootcamp grad, I can say something like that, right? So, if let's say, kamu if you have any advice for people yang want to become a software engineer, apa kamu punya recommendations, kamu punya advice. Anyone wants to start first? Maybe Daniel?
Yeah. So to students of computer science and software engineering, I think the most important thing that you need to prepare is mentally. I mean, don't be super surprised if the things that you are taught in uni, you didn't get to see it in work, because technology keeps on changing every day. There's always new technology coming out, and you have to actually adapt the basics that you have learned in uni into work. So don't expect the things you've learned in uni is going to be exactly the same thing that you're going to do in work, because most of the time it's not, because it really depends on how the company culture is sometimes when it comes to developing software. So be ready to be open to new technology and be ready to learn as much as you can, because the technology just keeps on expanding. So you need to always be ready to learn something new. So that's the most important thing for me.
All right. And then Carmen?
Yeah, for those who doesn't have any computer science background, or even didn't go to uni to complete a degree, there's always this code academy. Yeah, you can choose to learn.
Yeah.
And it's only took you 3 months time. And to me, like, learning without knowing anything is just normal, because we all went to school without knowing anything too when we were small. I mean, the most important is willing to learn, your attitude towards learning.
Yeah.
Willing to put on efforts, and also don't give up easily. Yeah.
Don't give up easily. That is actually a very good advice lah, kan? So saya mau tambah sikit. Keep the questions coming, guys. But yes, if you want to get started, if you want to macam tahu, if you want to find out whether or not you are interested in actually learning coding, actually ada banyak juga free resources out there online yang kamu boleh try. Sebelum kamu invest in a bootcamp, for example, kan? But it's the same thing. If you want to learn, don't give up, macam si Carmen bilang lah, right? So we actually have one question from Aizan Mastan. Yeah. So when learning programming, it can get of tedious and repetitive. Are there any advice to make learning more interesting, learning coding more interesting? Siapa-siapa pun boleh jawab. Mungkin Carmen dulu ada tips, advice macam mana mau buat supaya learning coding ni like dia interesting.
Interesting. Make it more interesting.
Yeah, how do you make it more interesting?
Probably you can think of another way to implement it, because when you code, there's a lot of ways to actually reach what you want to achieve, right? And so why I find it challenging is because I always think of to use the most simplest way to solve things, to make it work, to fix it. Yeah, that's what I do always.
Okay. Daniel, anything to add?
So sometimes when you learn programming or any language, so sometimes, especially for first timer lah, yang memang tidak pernah coding sebelum ni kan, so maybe you wondering kenapa kita kena belajar ini loop, kenapa kita belajar semua ni object oriented semua ni. Sometimes you wonder kenapa kita kena belajar, karena boring, sebab kau tidak tahu macam mana tu benda kena pakai by in real life. So I think it's better to find a learning resources that yang after you learn a concept, dorang kasih kau project, macam a small project to apply what you've learned. I think that's the best way lah, at least to me.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Sorry. So ada lagi?
itu sih.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sikit lagi saya mau tambah juga. So I think kalau macam yes, when you first started kan, saya rasa one of the things yang you can do is actually macam find something yang interesting for you to do, macam like a side project lah, kan? So if let's say you are learning Python, so try lah to build a simple app using Python to make it more interesting lah, orang bilang kan. So kalau kau yes you have resources, free online resources whatever, but then if let's say you're not building something yang you personally ada minat kan, for example if let's say kau minat mau buat a social network punya app, then try lah, just clone, I don't know, try to clone Facebook or Twitter or Instagram using the language that you learn. So at least macam kau pun ada macam orang bilang motivation sikit untuk kasih siap ini project. Sebab I think so Carmen pun mention earlier yang her final project dia buat dia punya satu application yang I think you chose the topic yourself kan, yang itu your final project kita sendiri. So it was not something yang kena orang bilang kena decide by the mentor, but it was something yang kau sendiri minat lah kan. Jadi yeah, so when you have, kalau macam kau memang minat sendiri dengan apa yang kau mau buat tu, then I think that keeps you going lah. So at least kalau terstuck pun, then semua juga buat, dan mau juga kasih siap, mau juga lah. So itu additional advice lah kan, if you want to make it interesting gitu. So ada lagi satu question saya rasa daripada satu orang ni. So Chalsen, how long does it take for someone to master programming, and if you have any programming language yang you can recommend to learn? Yeah, Daniel or Carmen? Daniel first.
So how long does it take? I can't really give a number because it really depends on how much effort you are willing to put and how often do you choose to learn something. Maybe you reserve 30 minutes every day to finish a small part of the course. So it really depends. So I can't really give a definite answer for that. But what programming language I recommend to learn, I think it's gonna be Python. Maybe because I learned Python when I first started my computer science degree. And yeah, I do find Python is very easy for beginners.
Okay. Anything to add, Carmen? What do you think?
To me, yeah, same with Daniel, which I cannot give it a time, how long you can master a programming language. It's depends on what you are doing. I mean, when I was learning in this Rambutan Coding Academy, there's still something that I didn't actually get it. But after when I started to work in this as a team, as a software engineer, and somehow I actually get it because I actually get into the situation on how to solve that problems. Daniel?
Oh, yeah. Because I want to add something. So because you can't really measure when you actually master a programming language, because when you work, you are not expected to know every method, every classes that is available in a certain language. For example, Ruby, because in the end, what programmers do is actually Google and read documentation. So for me, when you say master programming, I mean, it's just a matter of knowing the tools that you need to use to solve a problem, but it doesn't mean you should know all the available methods that you should use. So, because in the end, all programmers have to refer to their documentation.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I'm actually a software developer myself. So I want to add something lah. So there's this one book. I can't remember what's the title of the book now, but it says if you want to master something, you need to put in at least 10,000 hours. What's the name of it? I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know. So 10,000 hours, maybe not to master programming, but if you put in at least 1 hour a day, for example, right, to practice on something, mungkin, okay, master is probably not, tapi at least kalau kau keep on doing it kan, consistently every day, so adalah ada orang bilang memang akan ada improvement lah. You have to keep doing it. Yeah, Outlanders by Malcolm Gladwell. Thanks, producer. Yes, dia bilang 10,000 hours to master something, but yeah, I don't know. But if let's say 1 hour a day, berapa tahun lah tu? I don't know, right? But that's the minimum lah, I think. Yeah, keep doing it consistently. Kalau kau belajar macam apa orang bilang teori sejarah without actually doing it, sama macam math lah. Then you have to do it, baru macam orang bilang boleh nampak dia punya perbezaan kan, daripada tidak buat kepada buat. And yeah, just keep on coding lah, right? Yeah, so I don't think we have any more questions. I think semua orang mungkin clear juga. Tapi if you have questions, just tulis saja di ruangan komen tu sebab kita masih ada masa. So, any tips? Let's say for those yang macam baru graduate, now looking for a job as a apa ni, software developer, software engineer. Ada tips macam mana how to pass the interview? I'll give this question to Daniel since Daniel actually had this brief interview now, right? So,
okay.
Daniel, yeah.
So how I prepared for my interview? Yeah, to be honest, I don't know anything about the software industry, how it works. But what I did was I like to read this website called Quora, and I followed topics about software engineering. And there's always like senior software engineers like writing their piece of opinion of how a software team should be run, and also read things like basic things like what is front end, what is back end exactly. So I just keep on reading. So because you get to read something that is written from people who are actually in industry. So if you wanna learn more about the industry from the people who are actually in it, I suggest Quora because that's what I did to prepare for the interview. Yeah.
Carmen, do you have any tips for those yang baru mau cari kerja sebagai software developer?
So I find that GitHub is actually useful,
right?
Because you can show to your potential employer that this is what you did, and not just showing the degree, the certs that you have, because everyone does have a cert. Actually, it doesn't make any difference at all. So you must show that you did codes and a lot of things that you have done. So GitHub is good. It's a good platform.
GitHub, okay. So, okay, untuk summarize ini everything yang kita sudah discuss so far, kita akan kami akan macam publish satu artikel and kasih list resources yang kami mention di sini lah, supaya semua orang yang masih menonton, masih bersama kami boleh pergi kami punya blog rambutan.blog untuk tengok itu resources soon. Kami akan compile satu artikel and then visit our blog soon lah, right? So we are almost habis sudah. So, kata-kata terakhir daripada Daniel, anything you want to say?
Um, so the world of tech for for a student who macam just have experience like learning theory, it can be daunting, but don't ever macam let it stop you from entering the tech industry, because everyone starts from zero. No one knows everything right from the start. So if you're really into tech, just be ready mentally, like I said before, and
Yeah.
just put all your effort into learning the thing that is needed in your work. So that's all I need to say.
Oh, thanks, Daniel, for the advice. It's very very good advice.
You're welcome.
Carmen, yes, you actually have one question. So yeah, how the Rambutan Academy give impact to you in learning programming at this moment, Carmen? Um, since you learn it there and be part of the team now. So yeah, this is for you, Carmen.
Give me impact to your learning. Oh, okay. Um, any impact? Um, I find it fun working as a software engineer, because we share ideas
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah.
We've discussed on stuff, and we actually sometimes we make fun of it, but sometimes we actually can learn something from each other.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, programming. Since you're in the team. Um, to me, there's one which I want to say is don't afraid of making a change. Like me, I did resign, and that time I didn't know. I didn't have any idea what should I do next. Actually, yeah, it all depends on my luck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was actually like a bold move, I think, from your side. So yeah, congrats to you. Any final say, Carmen?
Final say, it's what I can say is sometimes curiosity actually leads you to a new path, a new career. I can say that. Yeah, that's all. Curiosity. Out of curiosity can lead you to a better path.
Oh, that's a good advice. Yeah. So be more curious, right, Carmen?
Yes.
uh, all right. Okay. Thank you, Daniel and Carmen, for spending your evening cuti pun with us. Right. Thank you. So yeah, we actually have saya actually sebenarnya ada tiga apa tu announcements, right? So yang pertama, so saya tahu hari ini genap 14 hari kita berpuasa di bulan Ramadan. So mungkin ada yang masih susah mau bangun sahur. Jadi di Rambutan Digital, so actually the lead is actually Daniel. Diorang ada buat free sahur wake up call service. You can go to boleh register for free. If we can show the website on the screen, there is. So it's actually Ramadan2020.rambutan.digital. Can we display? There is actually. Okay, let's wait for that one. Okay, never mind. Tiada banner for that one, but it's Rambutan. It's Ramadan2020.rambutan.digital. Nanti kami letak di comment box untuk kepada yang miss. There you go. That one. Announcement kedua, minggu depan, insyaAllah kita akan bawakan Severinus Titingan dari Sabah Technopreneur Association untuk bersembang pasal overcoming COVID-19, how businesses can go digital. Set itu reminder 14 Mei pukul 4 petang, FB Live juga. 14 Mei tidak sudah MCO, tapi ya kau kasih set lah itu kalender kan supaya teringat mau join kita. Dan ketiga, kepada yang berminat mau belajar sedikit pasal digital marketing, kita ada free online workshop 15 Mei, hari Jumaat, jam 3 petang. How to use content to stand out. So, yang ini kamu orang kena pergi klik on the link yang tertera tu di screen, register di sana, nanti kita akan email link untuk join Google Meet untuk ini workshop. So, ini workshop akan sentuh pasal how to macam mana menggunakan content to set yourself apart from the competitors. So this one is actually we will invite speaker from Right Stuff, the co-founder of Right Stuff, Jeanette Gun, untuk deliver this workshop. Now, so one last thing sebelum kami berundur diri, pesanan penaja teruskan duduk rumah. Kalau bukan kita yang jaga kita, siapa lagi? Kalau kita terus teguh, kita mesti menang. Nanti lepas 12 Mei yang akan kembali ke office, selamat kembali bertugas. Kalau tidak apa-apa urusan lain, terus balik rumah, pakai mask bila di tempat orang, tempat yang ramai orang lah. Sentiasa cuci tangan 20 saat, pastikan ada juga hand sanitizer. Jangan lupa pakai sebelum dan selepas bila sentuh benda-benda yang public macam itu butang lift ke apakah semua kan. Dan paling penting maintain social distancing atau dalam bahasa dusun dia bilang penjarakan sosial. Paling-paling 1 meter, tapi kalau lagi bagus 2 meter lah. Dan untuk supaya kamu tidak terlepas update terbaru daripada kami pasal event ke, pasal workshop ke, pasal live stream ke, boleh follow kami di Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, yang punya handle Rambutan Academy. So, nama saya Faizra. Thanks again Danial and Carmen. Jumpa minggu depan.
Welcome. Alright.